Welcome everybody! We are in for a medical treatment today. If you've seen the last video like 2-3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I started Humira, one shot. It's every other week, and ended up kind of rolling through that process for a couple months, and just didn't notice any changes. And the reason why I'm taking that, obviously, is first is my hands, very seriously arthritic. Um, Basically, you're looking at psoriatic arthritis, I believe is how she did it, like this, through this, and then, or no, psoriatic like this, and then the knuckles here, and rheumatoid out here on the end. I believe it was like that, how she did it. That or vice versa. I get it mixed up. So that's actually the only somewhat issue that I have, besides just my head. Basically, with the head thing, that's just we'll say that pretty much it's just keep it simple. I never know what the day's gonna bring. Today doesn't mean I'll be good tomorrow. I have no idea. I could wake up and I could just be out of it, and it's like there's pressure on my head and I'm just totally out of it. I'll wake up and I won't have no clue what day it is, sometimes even month. I have to then remember kind of what year it is. And now this isn't every single day, but this, I never control it. It's half and half, you know. But anyways, so that's why we started on the Humira program, hoping that it would help out with that, and also obviously with the arthritis going on. Because as you know, if you follow this channel at all, I love electronics and have really gotten into the electronics. And the reason for that is because when this started happening, along with that is I fatigue very easily, and having been in a life of construction, had my own business for, I think it was 8 years in Florida. And now, mind you, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was just it was a great time. And then to be hit where I'm at now, I totally had to change my outlook and kind of reel back in. I was in a slump, and we is me and wah is man. Went through all that stage, and then I got into the, actually, it was, to be honest with you, YouTube, actually. I got the Fire Stick and started watching YouTube, and that got me more into the electronics, and just, I knew enough. I didn't even know what a capacitor really did or was when I started with the electronics, and, but I knew how to do, like, house wiring and stuff like that. So, I mean, give or take, I knew about ohms, and that's about it. But anyways, yeah, so I just started having issues, and so there's just kind of a lot going on, and I never know day to day, and it is what it is. But anyways, I'm really hoping that this helps out. With the Humira, I can't say that it wasn't working, but the way I'll state it is I did not notice a difference. So I'm taking this medication. It's a heavy medication, obviously. It's a shot. The Humira came in a big old shot. And, I mean, it's a heavy medication, and why am I taking it if it's not doing anything? So, but the doctors, like the doctor said, they're different makeups, and you gotta kind of trial and error and see what works best with you. So, I'm just pretty much hoping for anything, to be honest with you. And then maybe a little bring some clarity in the days that are real bad. I mean, I'm just functionless. It's brutal to even try vacuuming, because it doesn't even make sense. I'll try vacuuming and then I'll forget what I already did, and it's a total fiasco. I mean, and you're talking about vacuuming for, like, it's just lay in bed and watch TV and try to just rest too. That's the other thing, is I'm just totally fatigued out. So again, that's not every day. I have good days like today and that, and I just live with it. And coping with it is a big thing too. But anyways, here's the new Kevzara. Yeah, Kevzara is what it is. It's a 200 milligram shot, and I just picked them up. They came in yesterday. And one thing you're going to want to know specifically with these, if you are or know someone, right when you get the shot, is obviously it comes in a big old package. I mean, this thing's like this, just stacked with, it's like 4 sheets of the big bubble wraps, and then ice packs. So it has to be refrigerated. You're going to want it to refrigerate it from 36 degrees Fahrenheit to 6 degrees Fahrenheit. And that would be in Celsius 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius or centigrade, whoever you want to credit with that. And again, it's an injection. Pretty much I want to walk through quick. Don't be scared of it. It's nothing major. It's not near as simple as the Humira. Basically, that was you pull it out of the fridge. Now, one thing I want to caution you right away: if you just pull this out of the fridge, you're not going to want to take it right away. First off, it's going to shoot, and you're going to have to. I had mine out earlier when I did this, and once I got about halfway, I was really, but I mean, my hands are. It feels like I'm putting more stress into it than I am when I'm pushing in that. But I mean, I was like, when I got down into here to push it through, and I mean, it was by far warmed up enough. You know, it was definitely at room temperature. So the first thing is you're gonna want to let it just sit out in the open temperature. You're not gonna want to heat it up or nothing crazy like that. And before you take it, make sure it's not cold. Do the cheek test, or right across your wrist here is real sensitive too. Put it up to your cheek, and if it's cold, like this one, I could feel it's been out for about 15 minutes. I could still feel that it's cold, a little bit chilly yet. So you're going to want to make sure that it's warm. You're going to want it at room temperature. So don't warm it up, nothing crazy like that. So what you're going to want to do is, again, like I said, refrigerate it. Let the syringe warm up. They're saying for, yes, at least 30 minutes before using. And once you pull the syringe out of the fridge, use that within 14 days. You're going to want to check the substance. Is if it's cloudy, if it's not, as you can see here, it's very clear. Very clear, in fact, as you can see. If it gets cloudy or it gets chunky or anything like that, you're not going to want to take the shot. Do not, injection points, you're going to not inject through your clothing. Actually, if you remember back in school, that was a thing. There was someone, big famous general or something, died not from the bullet wound, but from the fabric of the shirt that went in with the bullet. I guess they couldn't get it, and that's what actually caused the bacteria. I know that somehow. Somehow I remember that. Again, the memory is foggy on things. It's just weird like that. It's like things that happened like 2 weeks ago, I have no idea. But things that happened like 2 years ago, some things I can really like pinpoint down, then other things I can't. Do not touch the very end of the needle. That's obviously, you're going to be putting that into your body, so you don't want to get your nasty germs or anything on it. Make sure wash your hands up good with soap and water, and make sure they're dry before you attempt to do this. You don't want to, again, heat the syringe. And let's see, yeah, look at it, make sure it's, check to see if the liquid in the syringe is clear and colorless to pale yellow. Now, again, they're showing, you know, something like that. Or obviously, to put it right next to that. Come on. See the difference there? I mean, there's kind of a big difference between them two, but I mean, if you ask me, that's a little bit milky, but that's what they're saying. All right, enough rambling. Shots. You're gonna want to do, as far as it's gonna a little bit different placement. As far as the Humira, it was a big meaty spot from your rear endish to shoulders. I did the inner thigh, which is, if you're, oh, this never works right. If you're looking like inner thigh, like right here, I kind of hold the fat, not real tight, just kind of hold it enough to have a nice bulge spot. You want to make sure that obviously there's not a bone like in your arm, like you're not going to want to do it right here. You know, you're going to want to do it in a big fatty spot. Like they recommend like your shoulder up in here. As you can see, you're not going to want to do it within 2 inches, I believe. Yes, 2 inches, 5 centimeters around your belly button. This area that they're showing right here. You're just going to want to be really careful around that area. It's very sensitive and it's very vulnerable. So you're going to want to go outside of, basically if you did something like this, or right around your belly button, you know, avoid that area. But you can do it in your abdomen area. Again, you're not going to want to do it where your ribs are, up by your rib cage or anything like that. And normally, you know, just like I don't know if you guys have, I've just seen lots of doctors and all that, so I've had just tons and tons of blood work taken. If you have too, you'll recognize you're getting the rainbow treatment, which is when they pull out the vials. It's every color of the rainbow, and then extra ones that the doctor ordered. And yeah, so I mean, you kill a cow with as much blood they've taken from me over the years. So yeah, you pull get some alcohol wipes or one wipe, the little one wipe kits, and rub the spot real good. And you're gonna want to make sure that the alcohol, it usually does, it evaporates pretty quick. Let it dry. Make sure it's not wet. Do not touch the injection site before the injection. And that's pretty much about it. Like I said, then the rest is, I always tap them like this and pull the cap off and see the little bit of air in there. Push out the air. They're saying don't do that in here. Do not remove the air, but I'm telling you, it's a weird feeling when there's air in your needle and you push it in. It's just weird. Sometimes it could hurt a little bit. It did sting a little bit, I can tell you that. Again, but my hands are messed up, but still, when I got to about here with the plunger, I mean, I was like squeezing it out. Like, I was really surprised by that. I was almost taken aback by it. Squeeze it, and once you bottom out, give it one more big squeeze. And the reason is this rubber here, it's about this long, and it actually, when you push it, it'll push up, it'll funnel up in there, and it'll almost eject everything out. Make sure it pushes it all out. So you're really just, instead of having it come to the end and just be like this, you really just squeeze it that extra bit, and it takes the rubber and goes and it gets all of that right out. So then there's nothing left in it. Once you're done, wait a couple seconds. Once you finish pushing this all the way, wait a couple seconds, and then pull it straight out. Make sure you don't pull it out sideways or just be jerking around with it. Remember, you don't want to break the needle off inside you. That's what the old I believe it was Howard Hughes, in fact. They had just tons of needles. I can't remember what he was doing. Who knows? But when he died, they had an X-ray, and you just seen just broken needles. It was the most disgusting thing ever. I mean, talk about like the lowest point of your life. And then it's disposal. You're gonna want to contact. You're not going to want to, first off, do not throw this straight into the garbage. That's the last thing you want to do. And you think, well, it's going in a landfill. What's the matter? No, you don't know that for sure. And I'll tell you why. There are some places, and I don't know who or where or what or anything about it, but I know that there's places that take your garbage, open them all up, even the hard garbage, the nasty garbage. And there's actually people there that it goes along a conveyor and pick out paper, cardboard. They pick out any metals, coppers or stuff like that, any precious more type metals, brass metals like that, or stuff that they don't want to go to the incinerator. So can you imagine if now you throw it out? Yeah, it's got the point on it and everything, and the cap. But then it gets jammed in the garbage, and it gets thrown in a truck and that, and bunched around. More than likely, the freaking needle's going to be sticking like this, and the cap will be gone if you throw it in the garbage. And it's going to be going down the conveyor, and if there's a bag and they go to grab the plastic bag because it's plastic and they can recycle it, and they grab it and the needle's there, well, they just got stabbed. Could go right through their gloves. That's the biggest reason why you don't want to throw. It's just bad practice, okay? So you're going to want to get something, you check with your community what your community guidelines are. But this is a Sharps container. You can see it's a biohazard container. With the Humera, they actually sent me one. And the way it works is it just pops open, and you just push the pins, the Sharps, just drop them down inside and close them up. And once this full, you'll have to check with, don't throw this out then. I know there's some doctor's offices that if you bring a container like this in, they'll add it to theirs. They have big, it's like this, but it's a big dump bin that's similar to this. You've probably seen it at the doctor's offices and that, or at the hospitals. I know they have them. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm very interested to see how this works out. I'm hoping at least see, I'm hoping for anything. How about that? You know, not asking for a lot. I just hope for like just some relief, and it'll help me. Just anything. I'll take anything. How about, that's about how I'll say it. So yeah, that's about all I can come up with. I really hope that anyone watching this that is having any issues, I hope this really helps you too, and helps you maybe kind of. Feel free to leave comments on that too. The best way to get through this is to talk about it, and there's a point where you're gonna feel like God's just struck you down, and he doesn't have any care for you or use for you anymore. But there's a reason why this happens. It's God's plan. You got to remember, you know, we're all God's children here. So whether you believe that or not, just try to deal with it. I don't even care if you believe in that or not, you know. Still leave a comment. You could talk through it, and maybe we could help even each other out. But that's the biggest thing, is it's figuring out how to live your life once the changes happen and you're not able to work every single day and function like you normally are used to, you know. I mean, I was working 6 days a week, and I loved it. I worked like 2 months straight without a day off, my own business. And I didn't work on Sunday because I had to, and this sucks. I was out there Sunday, and it was because I absolutely loved it. I loved what I did, and I was blessed too. I had really great customers. I mean, I thought I was on top of the world, you know. It's that's why I was shocked to be where I'm at now, but now I got a different take on life, and it's just part of living, part of growing. It's all God's big plan. So I just want to do one more shot of my hands up a little close, and that's for me to kind of self-document if I do have any progress or not. And I know that from when I started the Humera and that, I know one thing for certain. This finger was messed up. This one right here, this one was fine, but it's symmetrical the way the stuff works. And this finger was ganked up out to, I think, even a little bit, maybe about like it is now. Let me zoom in on it. So it's the worst with cranked up fingers trying to zoom in, going like this, squeezing on the phone. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's frustrating. But that one was cranked up. This one was totally straight, fine. But I was starting to get arthritic pains in it. And I remember telling the doctor, I said, listen, this finger, if you look, this one's cranked up. It seems to be a little bit symmetrical the way this works. If you can see with my pinkies and that. I'm having pains in this finger, and the way it seems to work out is that the pains are first, and then like it's sore, and then when you like press, that's the worst. It's like jamming needles into it. I mean, it's like cringe-worthy. And I said, I feel that this is gonna happen, and that's what it's doing. It's getting cranked out now, if you can see it. Bring it. Whoa, didn't mean to blast you, poke you in the eyes. yeah, you can see it's getting hard to straighten it out. And I just wanted to kind of like almost doing the old x-ray, see how they lay out. Yeah, it's a the other thing is carrying buckets, shoveling, like some shoveling when it's something heavy too, like some heavy stuff shoveling. Oh my god, the next day is brutal. These get all swollen up, all really just blowing up in that real bad. So, and about like that. So, I just wish you all the best. Feel free to leave a comment, share, subscribe, and do whatever you gotta do to make your life a little better. That's all. I'll get through it, right? Thanks again for watching. Very much appreciate it. Thank you.